What you're doing to me, I don't like.
Hey,
This is wrong.
No one. He asked them to sit on the floor now. Let's see what people are saying.
Hey.
And General Buhari says, great show of strength. They can't break us. With the intimidation and harassment, we shall continuously resist the oppressor's rule.
Oh.
And then I saw this free chairman wound to me now. It's a thing that's building on social media.
Can I tell you something? It's unnecessary.
Right.
I think I mentioned to you yesterday. Mm-hmm. It's unnecessary. Let's put facts together. If Iyoko Boss, BNI, NIB, CID, FBI decide that this is a person of interest, we cite, some corruption around him or corruption-related activities around him. So we want to talk to him. We want to arrest him. Again, we have sat here and countless number of times you've said that the Rambo style in arresting these people is giving, we want to show that we are in power, is giving, we're not sure, we want to play small, is giving, we want to flex power and muscles on you. It's not necessary, right? And we've condemned that. That's arrest these people well. They still have their human rights, their human rights is not gone just because you think. Because somebody could be accused of something, but until proven guilty, they're still very innocent. That's what our law says. So treat them like their dignity should be protected until even when you have found them guilty, they are still supposed, their human rights as a people or as a Ghanaian is supposed to be protected. That is what the law says. That is what our constitution says. So again, we have said here that it's okay to call you in and to want to ask you whether they use Rambo style or not. Listen, you've been invited. We've condemned that pattern. We're saying that, listen, give the law time to run its course.
Right.
If Chairman Wontumi indeed is innocent of any wrongdoing, do you think that genuinely, with all these lawyers in the NPP, they would allow him to go to jail? No. So I think that all of this Naluta Continua and all of these things is only just disrupting the entire process, making it too tedious. Give it time.
Exactly.
You're inviting NSB boss, no? And you're no. So nobody cares about the NSB boss. Wow, I'm thinking about it right now. Nobody cares about the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but it's taking its course. Every single time he goes to court, he comes out, he's questioned. Before you know, he's been arrested again. It's taking its course. If really and truly this young man has done something, he will be jailed. And so let's give time. It's not about all of these things that we're doing. To be honest with you, I think minority should. I keep saying it over here. They should hold you, right? They should just relax, pull back. Allow the law.
And I agree with you perfectly. And yesterday during the interview I had with Adib Sani, he also made the same statement. But you know what? Let's eschew emotions from this whole Wontumi thing and let the law take its course. If indeed he is not guilty like they are saying he is, let the law take its course. What happened to the courts? Our courts are still there. You can.
And 90% of you are lawyers. You don't trust the judiciary.
Just follow the process. If you have any grievances, go to the courts to vent out. Let's eschew partisan politics. Let's eschew emotions, especially emotions, out of this whole conversation. I agree with you so well.
It's really sad. I mean, to the point where you go and see Maya Fenyomaki sitting on the floor. Are you pokey? You don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, Ibrahim Mama, Popo says, breaking Ibrahim Mama sues Bright Simmons over defamatory publications. I want us to quickly get into what exactly Ibrahim Mahama is suing him for. So this is the writ of Simmons. Let's get into the charge sheet. So here it establishes the second plaintiff as whom Engineers and Planners. So plaintiff is Ibrahim Mahama, plaintiff 1, and then Engineers and Planners Company Limited, and that's his company limited that has been defamed by Bright Simmons. And then, so the second plaintiff as well is on the well-established business. He goes on to say that I'm actually looking for the parts where, okay, I guess, I don't know if time will allow us to read everything. But
it looks like we have to go through it all to find what we're looking for. Okay, let's see.
Very quickly. And so, starting off with here, the second plaintiff is a well-established mining and construction services company that operates in Ghana and in West African sub-region with an impeccable track record of successfully executing major mining and infrastructure projects. The second plaintiff states that as a leading mining contractor in Ghana, it is notably engaged as the primary contractor of Aboso Goldfields Limited, Damang Gold Mine, with a proven track record of exceeding production targets and maintaining exemplary safety standards. The second plaintiff has cultivated strong relationships with key stakeholders, including equipment suppliers, the Damang local community, mining regulators, and financiers, as evidenced by its support from the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. The plaintiff has since 1990 conducted the operations lawfully and diligently across multiple jurisdictions, contributing significantly to employment opportunities and socio-economic development in the communities where they operate. The defendant, that is Bryce Simmons, is a Ghanaian who is the vice president of Imani Ghana. The plaintiff states that on or about the 19th day of April 2025, the defendant, Bryce Simmons, authored and published on his personal website, brightsymons.com, an article titled "Ghana Provides a Lesson in How Not to Nationalize a Gold Mine." Interesting. Then he goes on to say that the plaintiffs repeat the averments contained in the immediately preceding paragraph and states that in the said publication, the defendant made several false, malicious, and defamatory statements concerning the plaintiffs. The plaintiff states that on the same day, the defendant shared a link to the said article via his official handle on X, formerly Twitter, identified as BB Simmons. The plaintiffs repeats the averments contained in the immediately preceding paragraphs and states that as at the 8th day of May 2025, the said post had generated not less than 93,000 views and 250 reactions, 98 reports, and 26 comments, and 109 bookmarks, thereby causing widespread dissemination of the defamatory statement. So that is where the bone of contention is. Then it goes on to say that the plaintiff states that the said article contained, among others, the following defamatory words. And he goes on to outline the defamatory words that were made. I guess it's not continuing here, so it's supposed to be 15. Okay. We do not have 15, but I believe it will be available on. It is available on the website mx24online.com. So really and truly, that is what the whole matter is about: defamation. We cannot really appreciate the whole conversation because we have some parts of the writ of summons and the charge sheet missing from the whole.
Come back a little. Come down a little.
This one, Wuntumi. So yesterday, Wuntumi was unable to meet 50 million Ghana cedi bill, but journalists in Kumasi will give him the platform to discuss trivialities. The amount of money Mr. Ibrahim Mahama has spent in caring for the health of people just this 5 months, is more than 50 million Ghana cedis. Okay, so what are they trying to say?
Okay, between you and I, you know that his accounts have been frozen, right? How is he going to make that money? And he clearly doesn't have friends because
his friends are people in the MPP. Aside that,
does that mean that Charlie the microphone can say, "Hey, wow."
And okay. I was sitting and I was thinking that
let's look at that again.
The MPP. So this is just announcing that sued him. The MPP could put resources together if they really want to. They could put their resources together. I mean, Kennedy Japan is there. We have Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, His Excellency.
We even have my boyfriend, Afenyo
Marking is there.
It's town.
Oh. I mean, they can put resources together. I understand that the bill, in their opinion, is high, but I mean,
I'm giving them a bombastic side.
Flex or muscle kakra. Even though it's high, we have still paid.
What to me?
Anyways, so that is why Ibrahim Mahama.
This Imani Ghana Vice President and Ibrahim Mahama are like big news today. Yeah. And because you don't see Ibrahim Mahama come out to do these things.
Exactly. I was shocked when I was like, wait, do we have two Ibrahim Mahamas?
Charlie, there's a level you would drag somebody.
And guess how much is asking for? 10 million.
10 million Ghana cedis. Me, I won't even be surprised if if he's able to successfully get this money out of this, but he'll just give it to some child on the street.
I know, right? 10 million Ghana cedis. Maybe now, if anybody touch me small, I'll go to court.
I'll sue you.
I'll go to court.
I'm gonna sue you.
Jeff does been stressing my life. Jeff
will sue you.
We'll start going to court.
Hey, no, don't sue Jeff.
Jeff.
Sue. Let me see. Sue Gabby.
Anyway.
I'll find someone else to join to sue. I want to sue HR.
Last one before we get to
Because at this point...
I know, right? Last trend before we get into our stories this morning, and Brian Champong is the man to restore confidence in the New Patriotic Party. Y'all should support him. Is that y'all for me? Y'all should support the man. Y'all should just support the man.
See, MVP is at that point where, you know, a savior is needed. You know, so again, listen, if Brian Champong is the guy, also note that...
But let's since he's in the news, let's do some analysis. Do you think he is worthy to lead a party, as in prepared to lead does he have the capabilities? And will the MPP give him the nod, given the fact that we have the likes of Kennedy Ohene Japan, who has stood elections within the party for a number of times and unfortunately did not succeed. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who was introduced somewhere 2016, gained traction to become vice president, served 2 terms, led the party, won the party's primaries, led the party, but unfortunately did not win the general elections against, let's say, a newbie, a member of parliament, and a former a former member, a former minister as well, agricultural minister. Do you see it happening?
I think when it comes to politics, this is how it works, right? Or this is how I think it works. You are to rise through the ranks. Right. There's never really a surprise.
But do you think he has already served? Because in politics, being a presidential candidate is like pivotal. After that, there's no coming down. Like,
yeah. Maybe with the likes of Emi Sata and then maybe former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, whom maybe at some point we didn't think that our politicians but just rose from banking sector to politics. Those are very rare cases. Again, because when you're choosing vice president, it has to be, you know, it's not necessarily someone who is in politics. You just need someone who's economically, you know, sound. You know, when it comes to the conversations on governance and economics, the person just needs to be in those spaces, right, and know their stuff.
Right.
Now, when we... I mean, having to say that's like some sort of a foundation I'm building, so that nobody says that, oh, and I say just about me, he wasn't. When it comes to flag bearership, you have to have the grassroots at your position. Exactly. You have to have the heart of the party. You know, campaigns and the party grassroots and the party and entire body. You need to have everybody loving you and wanting you. Because that's where it starts from. When the party loves you, they'll sell you well for the country to love you. I don't know if Brian Champong, after all the controversies around him, has earned any form of love with his political party. They have 4 years to work to get him into that position. If the party thinks that we need a neutral, we need someone who, I was going to say hasn't been touched, but this one he has been touched. You know, he's been touched. So for me, I think maybe he should just prepare himself for another 4 years. Maybe this 4 years is for those who have worked and are in the party. That's what I'm thinking, because for his own good, we don't want any body pulling up stuff on him that will make him look some type of way. So he should just prepare himself,
Well, we hope to see what will happen, especially on the back that he's formed an exploratory committee that would, you know, provide answers in 4 weeks, I believe. That's a month. We hope to see what the conversation will garner, what exactly would be highlighted, because it says it's going to be like a touch base with the grassroots, get to identify what the weak points of the party are, and then capitalize on it to launch himself as the presidential candidate. So he's working.
Okay.
But anyways, let's get into our stories for this morning and start off with the Portia Kai International Airport. As in a bid to reduce congestion at Terminal 3 and improve overall airport efficiency, the Ministry of Transport has commenced expansion works at Terminal 2 of the Portia Kai International Airport. And according to the Ministry, Terminal 2 will now cater to both domestic and international flights, with operations rolled out in 2 distinctive phases. This strategic move, jointly announced by the Ministry and the management of the Portia Kai International Airport, is aimed at alleviating the mounting pressure and the mounting traffic, passenger traffic at Terminal 3, which has seen increasing congestion in recent years. Now, yesterday, the Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikpe, highlighted the importance of the expansion project, noting that it forms part of a broader effort to enhance the airport's capacity and handle growing volumes of passengers and cargoes at the airport. Now let's just stay on conversations around the ministries, as the Ministry of Interior has announced Friday, January 6th, 2025 as a statutory public holiday in celebration of Eid al-Adha. In a statement dated Thursday, May 29, 2025 and signed by the Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak, the ministry urged the public to observe the day as a public holiday across the country. Now, Eid al-Adha, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice, is one of the most significant events on the Islamic calendar. It commemorates the unwavering faith of Prophet Ibrahim, who was willing to sacrifice his son Ishmael in obedience to God's command. And the festival coincides this year with the conclusion of Hajj 2025, the annual pilgrimage to Mecca, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Let's walk you through the details of the statement released by the Ministry of Interior last night. The general public is hereby informed that Friday, 6th June 2025 marks Eid al-Adha, which is a statutory public holiday and should be observed as such throughout the country. And it was signed by Muntaka Mubarak and Mohammed Mubarak, the Member of Parliament and Minister of Interior, and it was issued yesterday, like I said, May 29, 2025. Now, away from this, let's talk about Wontumi as the Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Justice Rimsai has confirmed that Bernard Entry Bosiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, is currently under investigations for a series of serious criminal offences, including fraud, causing financial loss to the state, and money laundering. Now, in a statement posted on his official X account, Justice Rimsai disclosed that the ongoing investigation is being handled by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, and asset recovery efforts are already underway to secure suspected proceeds from the crime. Now, we know that yesterday the minority also organized a staged walkout and a sit-down protest in front of EOCO. They staged the walkout out of Parliament, and then the sit-in or the sit-down protest was in front of the EOCO office. Joining us this morning for a conversation is Dr. Jonathan Asante-Ocho. He's a political analyst and a lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. Good morning, Doc. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Great. Now, Doc, I believe you've followed the conversation surrounding Wontumi, beginning from his attempted arrest last week Friday through to his appearance before the CID, and then his arrest by EOCO on Tuesday throughout till now, where he was giving bail of 50 million. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to meet the bail conditions. Yesterday, we saw the minority, that's the MPP in Parliament, walk out of Parliament and have a sit-down protest in front of EOCO office. As a political analyst from where you sit, how do you greet, what's your observation or assessing on this particular development?
Well, I would say that it's a bizarre situation that the minority is getting themselves. In actual fact, the leadership side set up the mismatch with that. He appears to the legislature thinking that that is going to yield results. I would say what they have done is nothing short of lawlessness. And this kind of, opposition in opposition will not lead them anywhere.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me that a private citizen in this country will have brushes with the law, and then MPs, just because the person belongs to that political party, will leave that particular post, not because a bill that has been said they disagree, not because a law that is being proposed that they disagree, not because a tax being handled is being introduced by government disagree, which they want to vent their feelings by walking out Parliament. And so to link their decision to walk out is because the state institution called EOCO ought to find the bail conditions, even with Wontumi. It's nothing short of responsibility. And I'm of the view that if they should vary their leadership style or pursue that to help them, other than that, it will really affect the psyche of them in terms of giving them an opportunity to come back into government.
Right. Now, Doc, the minority has raised concerns as to the 50 million Ghana cedis bill set by Yoko to be met by Chairman Wontumi and whomever is wanting to bill him. According to them, this is on the high side. They're asking for a reduction, hence their protest or sort of displeasure as to the amount given as bill. Do they have a case?
They don't, because that's why I described what it is as lawlessness. If you want a bill for chief variance, and it's a state institution that has the authority, the only thing you can do is go to court and ask for a variation and then explain the basis and why it should be varied. I think Mr. Atakian did something like that for Dubai.
Yes.
And I think it worked. So why is it that the minority leader, who was always ready and willing to go to court, is suddenly not ready to go to court? He's the same person who could secure an injunction. He was able to, write asking for injunction on parliamentary proceedings, on the speaker's parliamentary proceedings, on that issue of those who had violated that article of reason they were supposed to lose their seats in Parliament. He was able to, engender the Supreme Court to empower by 12 o'clock on a Friday. He was able to secure the injunction. So what I think that he doesn't really want to go to court is quite surprising. Meanwhile, that is the best thing to do if you want to seek variation. But you see, from a cynical perspective, you are talking about Mr. Wontumi. That cannot raise a 50 million, Ghana city property, whatever, as a way of, ensuring that he meets the bill conditions. The same person who could place House of Gold, go past on TV. How much was that? The same person who told us that he was ready to buy Manchester United or Chelsea. Yes. And to buy Chelsea, you need to cough up billions of pounds. So what happened? That he cannot raise 50 million. But that being said,
but Doc, not to cut you.
One point before you come in. Now
right.
You got to see that the point is that nobody will set. You don't go and steal someone's money worth 100 million Ghana cedis, and they will give you a bail condition of 1 million Ghana cedis. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So reasonably, unless they are being, unreasonable, that is you, or they want to punish the man. I don't believe that should be the case. If that is the case, then it's very unprofessional on their part.
Right.
But you steal 100 million and expect 1 million. So whatever the crime or potential crime or alleged crime might have committed, will definitely eat up to that particular amount or even more.
Right. So just to understand you, the 50 million that has been granted by Iyoko as bail to Chairman Wontumi is more or less like a sum total of the cases brought against him?
The application, they are talking about fraud. They are talking about international organized crime.
Right.
They are talking about money laundering. And they are talking about causing financial loss to the state. Look, I become so enraged when it comes to anybody living in Ghana State, because whatever he does will not only affect our generation, but will affect the generations that are not born. Polluting our water body, polluting or destroying our forests, it's not something that we must take as a joke. Even that, if we cannot even quantify that, I'm very sure that, and reasonably so, I don't think that Iyoko and their agents and ASAI will want to set a bail bond. Because, listen, Augustine, you want to tell me that the members of the minority who are not long ago, a few months with the government, if they really believe in what Mr. Smith stands for, they cannot raise those landed properties that will meet that particular bail condition. I am suspecting that they have probably become aware of the dangers involved if they associate with it, in terms of somebody guaranteeing their property to that effect, because of probably the information that they are getting. Because little did we know that apart from the guarantee thing, little did we know that international organized crime was part of the allegation or the alleged crime. fraud, money laundering, which is a huge crime in this country. So probably that is why nobody is willing to do it. But I believe by today he should be able to secure
the bill, right. Now, Doc, there's also the conversation about his rights being infringed upon, given the fact that he's been arrested and detained over 48 hours. That, if we are counting from Tuesday, that's the 27th of May through till now, it's been a little over 4 days since he has been arrested and detained in Iyoko custody. The conversation about his rights being infringed upon or his rights being violated, does the minority once again have a case in raising that as a reason for his release?
Yeah, they do have a case because per our law and what Mr. Maccarthy, the judgment is secured in court. Every offense is available.
Right.
So what the minority is saying, they are right. They have every right. But there is a caveat. That caveat is that the reason why it's still kept there is because he has not met the condition. So every offense is available. The only thing militating against his release is not his inability to meet the bail condition. Once it is done, he will be released. And I think that one, all of us will add our voices to that.
Right. Now, Doc, quickly before I let you go, on the sidelines of this conversation, there's that of the Chief Justice, the suspended Chief Justice, Gertrude Torkornoo, where her petitions of seeking an injunction to bar the Justice Scott Palmer committee from continuing with this investigation has been thrown out of the Supreme Court. What do you make of this?
Well, the law is the law. You see, as long as the President and the Council of State have not violated any constitutional provision with respect to Article 146, and all the articles are stated with that particular article, the Chief Justice or the suspended Chief Justice attempt to throw a wedge in the process, for me, is a bit provocative. I think that if she feels strongly about the prima facie that is leveled against her and the committee that is supposed to investigate, call, interrogate, if she feels strongly about that, she can decide to resign. Other than that, she should just let the proceedings continue. And if she wants to avail herself, she can go ahead and avail herself and ensure that she defends herself. Because the other side is that it will not only be a potential remover. If some of these things are proven beyond reasonable doubt in the proceedings, and it leads to a removal, she may lose certain rights as well. Certain administrative rights, certain perquisites that will have to yield their benefit as a potential former Chief Justice. That is the dangerous aspect of the whole thing.
Right.
And that for me is something that she must ponder over. The unfortunate thing for her is the continuous involvement and politicization of this process by the NPP. It makes the thing not only a constitutional procedure, it has also assumed some kind of political coloring. And that has not helped the case in any way. It makes people come to the conclusion that indeed she was manipulated when she was judged by the NPP in government. And that's the more reason why they have come to an end. Because if you ask me, Augustine, I don't see why a former Attorney General that has been disgraced, that has disgraced the legal fraternity in coaching a witness to indict someone that he was prosecuting. Such a person who lacks integrity is the very person the suspended Chief Justice would take as counsel. It's just unbelievable. I don't know whether it is just a matter of law, but you must equally have conscience because people will ask moral questions, and it does not look good for the public.
Right. Well, Doc, quickly before I let you go, in a couple of seconds, with regards to Wuntumi's case, what do you hope to see happen in coming days? You've already mentioned that at least by today, they should see some finality to meeting the bill demands. If they do not, what do you hope to see in coming hours or coming days?
Well, either they will have to go to court and probably get a warrant for an extended incarceration of Wuntumi for the time that is able to meet the bail conditions. You may also have to expect probably the minority or the MPP may react to that. People are becoming a bit disgruntled after hearing the kind of alleged crimes that he is committed. And deep within the party, it's not everybody is supporting him. There are others who are aggrieved because of road contracts that he never executed, and they don't even know where the money is. So I think that the minority will have to use things slowly. They may have to negotiate behind the scenes for its release because it's a politically exposed person. Other than that, they must, by close of today, meet the bill conditions. That's what I'm looking at it.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Jonathan Asante-Ochoa. He's a political analyst and senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate your insight to this particular conversation. But for yourself at home, what do you make about this whole situation? We know it's been building. It's exactly a week ago when we sat here and we're talking about the fact that an attempted arrest by NIB to pick up Wuntumi at his residence did not really happen. And then, exactly a week, we are here still talking about the same man just because of some 50,000 Ghana, 50 million Ghana cedis bail conditions set by Iyoko that has not been met by himself and the party. And like Doc was saying, it's quite interesting to see that MP cannot put together resources.
We were just discussing it earlier.
They cannot put together resources. And it is beginning not only to dent the image of Wuntumi, but by extension the image of the party. That they cannot come together to put 50 million here. But that's all for the morning news on the AM Club. My name is Augustine Adam Kobiti Saints. For more news and updates, remember to join us on mx24online.com or follow us on all social media pages. It's MX24GH and MX24 News on all platforms. It's the weekend. And in a world where negativity thrives, the only thing you can do is radiate positive energy, show love, smile, drink a lot of water, and enjoy the weekend as well as the rest of the show today.
You didn't tell them to mind your business today. It's like you're being nice to us now. Thank you so much for being nice. But thank you so much, Kobe, for coming through with those stories. Very interesting conversation you had there with Professor. But yes, we just received a message, a quick one. This one says that good morning, my name is Isaac Mensah from Amasaman. I wish myself a happy birthday. It's your birthday, Isaac Mensah. Happy birthday to you from us here at MX24 with celebration. Thank you so much for always joining us on the show. We really appreciate your presence. Have a great day. Well, moving straight to sports right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Good morning. Welcome to Friday Sports Update right here on the Club Sports. On the Club is brought to you by Betway. Betway bringing you way more chances to win each and every time. Mimi, good morning. You know, my voice is off to you. That's why you turn and were like, yeah.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Excited about the games this weekend?
I'm excited about the Champions League. I've got 3 theories pointing in the direction of one team to win. And
what team is that? PSG.
Yeah.
PSG must win so that I can actually go and visit my son Enjoy, because he's a PSG fan and he's in school. I have to see him this weekend, so I want to go enjoy. Okay. Yes. No problem, so PSG must win. So you think PSG will win this one? Yeah. Why?
So theory number 1 is what we call the home team theory, which is in the past, since 2014, all the teams that, you see when you are starting to watch the game, there are 2 teams written most of the times on the top corner there. The first one is always the home team. The second one is the away team. The home team, since 2014, have been winning the trophy.
Okay.
That's theory number 1. And PSG, this time round, is the home team.
Oh.
Theory number 2 is the PSV theory.
Yeah.
No team beats PSV in the same span.
Explain, what's PSV?
So PSV is a team in Netherlands. That's PSV Eindhoven. That's their full name.
Okay.
So no team beats them in the Champions League in that particular season and goes on to win the Champions League.
So the what's the opposing team again?
Inter.
Yeah. Inter has beating PSV.
No. Inter has not beaten PSV, but PSV has drawn with Paris Saint-Germain. So it works in their favor for number 2.
Okay.
Number 3 is the Munich theory.
Which one is that?
So the final is being hosted in Munich, the Allianz Arena. Now, anytime the final is hosted in Munich, it produces a new champion. Inter have won it 3 times.
Which means that this time...
PSG have not won it before.
So it produces a new winner, so we're looking at a new champion.
So those are my theories, please.
Those are his theories. Okay.
I can propound theories for Inter as well, but we'll see.
But you're not interested?
No, I'm not interested.
You're not interested, my guy.
It's fun. But for Inter, it will be difficult. I don't want to draw certain lines also behind the scenes.
Okay.
That one is conspiracy theory. That one is not proper theory. It's a conspiracy theory. If you want to hear it, I have it for you.
Give us conspiracy theory 1.
1, no problem. So, after this game, the possibility of the coach for Inter to stay at post is 50-50. He's likely to leave the club.
Be sacked or leave?
No, he will leave on his own terms. Now, should he leave, the key place he's likely to head is the Arabian Gulf.
Okay.
Where he will become the highest paid coach in the world. Now, the people from the Arabian Gulf, one of those states there, owns, quote unquote, owns PSG. It's okay. I'm not going to continue my conspiracy theory any longer.
It is getting to you. All right.
It's all for the money. It's all for the money,
isn't it?
It's all for the cash.
Isn't it?
That's why I know you'll be tomorrow. I'll make sure that the boys cook some.
Sometimes
correct score for you.
You understand, so that I will do this thing, and then we can do this thing. Yeah.
I like the way you are doing this thing.
This thing is always important over the weekend.
So that
for the weekend, when this thing comes in, like you're a whole different person. You show up on Monday very fine.
Cloud 9 levels. You're on a different planet.
Yeah. And then you've put together something amazing for us to watch the finals. Let's talk about that and then get into the stories.
So tomorrow, just like last year.
Yes.
Last year we were here, we did a watch along for Momsen's team. We watched Momsen do the, what was he calling it? Is it Apollo 15? Spanish word for it.
What was it?
So it's Apollo 15. That evening we did not hear anything yet. So it was between Dortmund and then Real Madrid. So it was actually Real Madrid versus Dortmund. Real Madrid were the home team.
Yeah. And they won.
And they won. Dortmund had all the possession, created all the chances in the first half. But in the second half, Real Madrid showed that they were boss and they won.
Yeah.
We're here, we did the watch along. It was interesting. Kwame now was outside and
doing his thing.
Oh yeah, he was doing his thing. One of these days we'll play a clip from what he was doing there because it's memorable, very memorable. But we had a very nice experience there, and this year it's back with a bigger bang.
Absolutely.
So tomorrow, in fact, we have expanded it. The game starts at 7, but you can start catching transmission from as early as 10 a.m.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So from 10 a.m., just be on the YouTube channel. We'll be streaming live. What we'll be doing at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. thereof, we'll be playing soccer, e-gaming. But electronic games.
Yeah, there was anyone who.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, they're fine.
Oh, okay. And your exhibition match, Mimi versus me.
Yeah.
I like the cough. No problem. It is to tell you that what she say, you know.
It's true. My boy, mom.
Oh, okay.
I did try.
I understand.
I did try. I didn't say I'm great at it. I said I did try.
So you know where pass is.
I know. Yeah, I know my way around because he needs a partner, Abby.
Yeah.
So his partner. He's always winning anyway. But I mean,
I give him 4 hoops.
He's always winning his games.
I give him 4 hoops at home.
Like I'm challenging you. Like as it.
Anyway, so we'll be here, and then a match later at 6 p.m. the boys will sit, and we'll still be streaming live on YouTube and also right here on your screens to top it off and add the cheese to the whole pizza that we are giving to you tomorrow. We will be transmitting live as well from the Good Park here in Accra, where we'll be bringing you live pictures to give you an experience like never before with regards to the Champions League final, which will be happening all the way in Munich. But it is the MX experience, which we will be delivering to you hot. So make sure that you are constantly glued to your devices. We know you would step out during the day. That is why we will be streaming totally and constantly on our various social media platforms. Be it YouTube, be it X, we will be live everywhere. So make a date and don't be late. Your comments are always welcome in the various comment sections, and we like to hear your predictions. Yeah, the oosh and the ahs. We always want to see your passion through your messages. Anyways, it will be a fun day tomorrow, so make sure that you are glued in for a wonderful experience. Now let's get into the stories for this morning, as some interesting things will be happening right here in Ghana as well with regards to finding the last team that would be joining Swedro All Blacks and Hokwa United in the Ghana Premier League next season. So the final playoff match between Techiman 11 Wonders and Real Tamale United is set to happen this afternoon, as All Blacks and Hokwa United have already qualified for the GPL. Real Tamale United, who previously qualified ahead of Bofa Kwatano, will face Techiman 11 Wonders, who finished top of Zone 1A with 58 points from 28 games. Game kicks off at 3 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium, and we will be bringing you all the updates from this particular game. So it's winner takes all. It's the final playoff to decide the final team to join Hokwa United and Swedro All Blacks in the GPL next season. Now let's do some more Champions League related issues, as Jose Mourinho has showed his support for Inter as he is backing them to beat Paris Saint-Germain in the 2025 Champions League final to be held tomorrow inside Munich. The Italian outfit are in the hunt for Europeans' greatest trophy, available to clubs for the 4th time, having had their hands on it last time in 2010, where Mourinho was their coach. Now, Inter they can actually finish their season on a much higher pedestal by winning this. But Mourinho says, hey, he's happy. His history is still locked in and loaded at Inter.
I'm going to be very naughty, but very honest. I was worried they could win the treble, because I didn't want them to win the treble. The treble is mine. But now that they lost the championship and the Italian Cup, I would love them to to win the Champions League. But of course, Luis Enrique is doing an amazing job in Paris. He transformed the team. They lost, let's say, the player number one, but they rebuilt it in a fantastic way. So if Luis win, I'm also happy for him.
So there is Coach Jose Mourinho. He is happy that his record for being the only manager to ever guide Inter to a treble is still intact, as Inter would now have to rival Paris Saint-Germain for the only trophy left, that is the UEFA Champions League. More action and more talk from this particular game much later in the day on Off the Cuff. Now let's end it with NBA action as we are going to get into game number 6. Yes, because the New York Knicks decided that this was the game that they will stifle the Indiana Pacers and make sure they beat them 111 to 94.
It's Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What did I hear? The weekend, right? I'm so excited. It's already the weekend. It's been a while since I sang that song. What happened to me? I grew.
You grew.
I grew.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
You look ravishing as usual.
Thank you. Yourself.
Yes,
you look like you're ready for the weekend.
I am?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I came easy, ready for the
exactly.
weekend. Right from here, I'm going to my bed or going to the best places in life. So that's my top. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's in the world of entertainment?
Well, today I'm bringing you international stories because that's what has been going on. And it's very, very interesting because the cheek of it for Offset to ask for spousal support. Spousal support.
You didn't know you needed spousal support when you were out here supporting yourself with other women.
With other women, flaunting your infidelity, rubbing it. How do you say rubbing? You're rubbing it in my nose or
my face.
You're rubbing it in her face. She gave you 1 in 1, you didn't mind it. Gave you 1 in 2, you didn't mind it. Gave you 1 in 3. She has steps. You now have the guts, the audacity, the authority, the mandate. Hey, Charlie, teacher blessing. What are you doing to me?
Mandate is not part of it. Mandate is not part of it.
What?
Okay, tell us about
ask for spousal support. Telling the courts and telling the courts that in this few months since they went their separate ways, Cardi has been making more money than you.
NTDA. NTDA.
So as far as the divorce is going to keep going on, he's requesting for spousal support and Cardi paying the divorce. Listen, there's a lot going on, but let's get into our stories.
Yes,
I know you guys are also angry. Eh? You're angry.
I'm living.
Let's get into it. Now, rapper Offset has filed an amended response in his divorce proceedings with Cardi B, requesting that she pay him spousal support to maintain his lifestyle. Offset, who is worth an estimated $30 million, is seeking joint custody of their children and wants Cardi's home to serve as a resident. Cardi B, who has an estimated net worth of $80 to $100 million, initially filed for divorce in August 2024, denying reports that Offset was a deadbeat father. The divorce proceedings have been contentious, with the couple previously exchanging heated insults on social media. So he needs the support to keep up with his lifestyle. And as I said, he's worth $30 million. And Cardi, so since Cardi is worth $80 million, mind you, she worked hard for him. Oh, erratic. God. I just want to cry for him. Because on top of that, you know, she had a new boyfriend last week in a game, and now this new boyfriend yesterday was seen on a yacht flirting with girls. Like, I mean, she doesn't catch a break, huh?
I think she needs a proper break.
No, she needs therapy. She needs therapy. She should come to me. We have a lot to talk about. We cry together, we eat together, we'll do everything together. We do everything together. Wow. That's really, really
I think
sad.
it's really unfortunate, but I believe that with substantial evidence, she can get out of this. Because again, listen, once the kids are not with Offset, she owes no responsibility towards him.
Do you know with this, and now the facts coming out that Offset is worth $30 million and Cardi's for $80 to $100, there's a chance that Cardi won't be taking child support.
Yeah.
There's a huge chance.
Yes.
That she won't be taking child support.
Definitely.
How do you want her to take care of your 3 kids?
And pay you on top of it.
And pay you on top of it. And you've made it the children's primary residence, her home.
I accept this because, again, she clearly has more resources to take care of the kids. So I pray that there's nothing, because I don't know how the law works, but I pray nothing that holds for this one. Now,
with this story, it came in mind that this is why Hollywood is doing something different. Now, they now have something called marriage in the eyes of the Lord. They don't sign the papers. So we have, yes, they don't sign the papers. In the case of my favorite girl, Yandy and Mindisi, Yandy didn't sign papers. She really did in the because at that time, Mendices was facing child support battles with his baby mamas, Samantha and the other girl, the two.
Yeah.
Now, if Yandi had signed, that means that automatically she's now in charge of the child support. Because Yandi was working hard before she met Mendices.
She had the money.
She has the money. Jennifer Williams and Christian, look at this. They got married, beautiful big wedding in Paris, and they didn't sign. So I think that is what is happening now. That's marriage in the eyes of the Lord.
In the eyes of the Lord, always. Oh, because you know there was a time that Yanni was being accused of not being married.
Right.
And the whole of the hip hop squad were against
him.
And then the baby mamas legally. The baby mamas were using it against it.
It had bashed them. It had bashed them. They didn't collect some of their money. It bashed them. Because tell me, why would you even go and Google? Do you get where I'm coming from?
They did their research on her and noticed that she's not in the system as married to Mendices.
So now she doesn't owe them anything.
The marriage is over, right?
No, they're still strong.
That marriage should be gone.
No, it shouldn't be gone.
I think the marriage should be gone. Because Mendices is doing way too much and dragging, because you see, Yandi is her man's wife.
Well, that's another time. Moving away from that, I wish Cardi B and Offset the
collect the ancestors.
Right. Moving away from that. Now, I'm sure, I think 2 weeks ago, about Tory Lanez getting stabbed 14 times. Yeah. Now, I know with what I'm about to show you, this is going to be sad for you, but Tory Lanez's video has come out when he was being stabbed. So surveillance camera has took videos in, and TMZ has gotten hold of the videos. And so let's get into it now. In a harrowing video obtained from prison security cameras by TMZ, it shows Tory Lanez being brutally stabbed by another inmate, allegedly Santino Casio, at the California Correctional Institute in Tehachapi. The footage depicts the attacker knocking Tory Lanez to the ground and stabbing him multiple times before Tory managed to flee down the staircase with a pool of blood, with his instinctive gun too visible on his stomach. According to reports, Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 times in the back, 4 times in the torso, and 3 times in the head, leaving him lucky to be alive. This is very traumatizing. We're going to take a look at it, and then we'll talk more about it. Yes.
No.
Wow.
Looks like Warville.
That's serious. Did you see that? He was fighting for his life. I'm so glad that
are real.
Listen, it's very real. I don't know if you saw the video. There was an old man that was climbing out the stairs with food. When he saw it, then he just went back. He just went back, and the audio was not being played. But if you listen to the audio very well, you hear him shouting for help. Listen, prison is prison. Prison, with him being in a correctional center, every day to be alive, there are people that just want to kill because they think like they have nothing to lose, you know. This man is life in prison. He's not coming back without parole, nothing. So, I mean, he's even put on death row. At the end of the day, he doesn't really mind. Yes. and it's sad. It's sad.
I'm glad he's alive.
I'm glad he's alive. But we're going to talk more about this Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion thing that has happened. This is just to chip it in there, but I don't know if you've seen the video. There was a video that was circulating yesterday, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, where police camera, you know the camera that is always on the police, when they shot Megan Thee Stallion and she was sitting on the floor, the police captured a voice note of Megan saying that she can't go to jail, that she wasn't shot. It's a whole lot that's coming out every single day about it. So we hope that they find the best, I don't know, the justice there, right? So we just hope.
Well, it has failed many, but also has helped many. So let's
see how it works. So we're moving on to our last story, taking updates from Sean Diddy Combs. Yes, I said I'll be giving you updates. I'm following the story a lot. I've become you. You see the way you follow this.
Yeah, I live. After listening to Sarah Jakes, my next thing is I'm following this story because I want to see where it ends. I want to see how these things, because again, that's a different jurisdiction. I have no idea. I've never been to America. Believe it or not. so I mean, I want to understand how the justice system works.
Right. Okay. So we have a former assistant to Sean Diddy Combs, and she testified that she once woke up to him sexually assaulting her. The woman testifying under the name Mia said Combs sexually assaulted her multiple times in the 8 years she worked for him. And so these are statements that I said the Shade Room is really following these well. So these are facts from Shade Room. So these are statements from Shade Room. Let's quickly get into it now. Mia says working for Diddy was chaotic. But it could be exciting. The highs were really high and the lows were really low. That was when she was testifying. A list was introduced into questioning. Mia was asked, what's the list entail? She said, a list of my responsibilities I sent to Tony Byers Fletcher on November 10, 2011. Puff has said, I don't know what you do all day. On the list, Mia wrote, anticipate his moods. When asked by that was important, Mia said it dictated the day. Next is Mia testified that Diddy was physically and sexually assaulted. Diddy physically and sexually assaulted her multiple times. She said he's thrown things at me. He's thrown me against the wall, into a pool, ice bucket on my head, slammed my arms into a door, and he sexually assaulted me. She was asked if the sexual assaults happened more than once. Mia confirmed she was sexually assaulted more than once. Mia was asked about how she got the job with Diddy. She said she met a recruiter before being interviewed by Diddy. She said the interview with Diddy took place at his apartment and Diddy answered the door in his underwear before later putting on more clothes. Next. Now, I think this is to show you how detailed, you have to be detailed. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be detailed when testifying. Now, Mia also said that she wasn't allowed to leave Diddy's home without permission. She recalled leaving one night in 2009 or 2010 after Combs had fallen asleep. Once I left at 2 a.m. after he was asleep, I got into big trouble. She added that Diddy allowed her to lock her bedroom door. Maya recalled, he said, it's my house. No one locks my door in my house. So as you can see, she's not allowed to lock her doors while she's sleeping, or she's not allowed to have she's not allowed to have any kind of privacy. Now, Mia further said, Mia said she launched Revolt Film Production Company with Diddy, separate from Revolt TV. She says she ran part of the company for a while before officially receiving a title. She described her experience as overwhelming awesome, adding it was her dream. Mia revealed that despite her new role, she still handled some assistant duty. Her salary role started at $70,000 and later increased to $100,000. She said they were supposed to get bonuses which she never received. Mia spoke about the time she witnessed Diddy violent and Cassie in her apartments. Mia said, wow, okay, so this is where she actually saw everything that happened between Cassie and Diddy. So Mia says that Cassie and Deontay were in Cassie's apartment when Didi came banging on the door, very irate. Maya says Didi began asking Cassie if she had been drinking after not answering his calls. Maya says the questions then came out at her and Deontay. He was crazy aggressive, Maya said. She said Didi then attacked Cassie and threw her on the ground. She said me and Deontay jumped in and tried to stop it. When asked what she did, Maya said Deontay is very small in comparison to Puff. There was a little tornado going on. He had Deontay in a position where I was scared he was going to kill him. So this and many more is what she had to say. You're talking about how she jumped on and everything, just describing the whole thing that had. So there's still more going on.
It's a very vivid detail here.
There's still more going on. I'm still very eager to see where this case goes. And
it's going to be a long ride. Grab a popcorn and a cup of coffee and just be watching, because it's going to be a very long trial. And these evidences are just going to keep coming. Some people are beginning to gain the confidence that they'll be protected. So some are showing up. Hopefully we get enough evidence to pin him down or not. I don't know. a lot of law and legal people have said that this case might be thrown out. They don't see it's going anywhere. They see it's not going far. But also there has been predictions that this could be one of the big cases that would really, really yield results as expectations of people are. And so let's look at it. Let's look at where it goes.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daphne Flashy, and I hope you had an amazing time today on the menu segment. It's a weekend, okay? So what you got to do, you got to come right here. MX24 just will be along for the league. You said the league is what? UCL. UCL. Thank you very much. And also I learned something. It's not Jose Mourinho, it's Jose.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel fancy. Jose. Over to you, Mimi.
She feels fancy just because she could pronounce Jose. Anyway, thank you so much, Daphne, for coming through. Well, in today's dynamic business environment, a robust is pivotal to achieving success. This is why we at Equity Health Insurance, we've designed for health insurance for you and your wonderful stuff. Well, at Equity Health Insurance, with Equity Health Insurance, your investment transcends ordinary insurance. It represents a commitment of your company. Our health plans are individually tailored to accommodate the unique needs of your employees, offering comprehensive coverage. Our support goes beyond administrative tasks and premiums. Equity Health Insurance, we are dedicated to standing by your the entire. So please feel free to reach out to us on 050 1515 124 0539 135 07 so that we can further enhance the level of service we provide to you. Equity Health Insurance, we is here for you. Now, Telecel Cash, your secure, convenient cash platform, is free. Free. So it even gets better sending money from Telecel Cash to Telecel Cash. It's still very free, and we're telling you that, listen, that's the best place to send money, that you're paying fees, whether out, bills. Remember, you can make payments on other networks, other platforms where cash transfer is accepted. Dial *110#, that's *110, or download the Telecel Pay app to subscribe today. Telecel is always connecting with you everywhere. Now, we're moving straight to the plug this morning. Yes, I told you the show. We're going to be having great conversations, exciting stuff coming here on the show. Do not move. It's Miriam Udoh-Mensah. Now you are officially welcome to the second phase of the show right here. It's Friday, so we're giving you a little something on the top, okay? So let's join us later on the show right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Before I started baking, I had gotten a master's degree, an EMBA in project management. I also did my first degree in University of Ghana, Legon. I majored in sociology and economics. And I'm the owner of a bakery that sells delicious treats. Before I started baking, I was the manager of a small team in a distribution company that sells food products. I had never tried baking before, so a colleague from work, he made a chocolate cake. She called me, she bragged about it, and I was like, if she has done it, then I can also do it. So I also tried, but the funny thing was, I didn't have an oven. I tried the chocolate cake in the microwave, okay? It came out as soup. So I did another research and I found another method that showed you how to make the cake on a stovetop. Now the thing about that, you can't tell when it's done or not. But then the only thing that I found online is that when cakes are getting ready, okay, you can smell it. So we started smelling it in the house. My younger sister came, I was like, hey, what is that, what is that? I was feeling good, but I was scared inside because I didn't want to show them the soup again. So got a very nice burnt chocolate cake. So I was like, wow, I can do this. I really enjoy this. I want to spread that joy. So I started selling to customers, which was a very scary step. Thought about this for a month. Then one night I decided that, it's now or never. I've been thinking about this for so long. Let me just change my personal Instagram account into a business account and then make the first post. So I posted and closed my phone. So that was the first post. And I was fortunate enough to have friends and a few people who had tasted the cake and then they ordered. Was to convince my parents. They weren't so about. I mean, they were happy to see me with a hobby.
So we not work to do it full time. Yeah, we will give her the support that she needed. So we spent quite a lot of money to turn the garage into a bakery.
I started alone, and then by God's grace, currently I have 5 workers, including myself.
I've been working here for the past 2 years, and then during vacations when I was in the university, I used to come and help my cousin out.
I've been with Sheila from the beginning, since she started this journey, the tasting stage, to determining which products to put on sale.
Now I've been able to even upgrade my equipment, so I'm able to buy more equipment without a loan.
So far, she's been doing very well. The passion for the work is so much. Always trying to use the best of everything for her clients.
And she implements your feedback into your next order.
I started with no oven, and here I am with a big oven that can take 200 cookies at a time. The challenges that I faced when I started as a small business is, where do you go and get raw materials and at what cost?
Her business has grown this much because of her attributes of taking feedback.
Where I see my business in the future, to be able to distribute cookies all over Africa and then open several branches in Ghana.
I'm proud of you. You inspire me. You make me want to bring out the best, be intentional with my actions, and be positive.
So I'd encourage everyone, try cookies and muffin, try the Afro Baker, and you won't be disappointed.
People who are sitting on something, they are sitting on a dream, a hope, you want to do something, okay? What I have to say to you is that just start.
Taking that first step to start your business and commit to it, I believe is the most difficult thing for most people.
The Ghana Grows Project is a very fantastic initiative for we the small businesses, because first of all, advertising is very difficult, so it helps put us out there for people to see that no matter how small you start, you can also make an impact. Hello, my name is Sheila Edumensa. I am the owner of Cookie Delight and Cookies and Muffins. Ghana grows! Okay. Come and buy from us!
Ghana grows.
Welcome back to the AM Club right here on MX24. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. We're getting into our big conversation for this morning. You know I'm a girl's girl, so when it has to deal with the girls, then I'm in it. Well, this morning's conversation is one that we've tried to have in different ways, especially on this platform. I think last week, yes, we did get into the conversation of menstrual hygiene. And this morning we continue with our in-house coach, life coach. I call her in-house. Whether she likes it or not, she works for MX. That we don't pay her, but she works for MX. Good morning, Nana.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good, yourself?
With your beautiful self.
Thank you.
It's always a delight to have you, honestly, because you just carry this wonderful grace, intellect.
Humbled.
She's being modest about it. Anyway, well, before we get into the conversation, guys, like you can see, breaking period taboos. Yaz, she's partnering with Yaz to do something incredibly amazing. Let's get into it. Let's just get into it.
Okay, so this year's conversation with Yaz is mainly to empower women during this period, and also to go beyond just empowering. And then the cliche of menstrual hygiene. The moment you're even talking about menstrual hygiene, it means you've cupped it into a space where it looks dirty or filthy, or it doesn't have a certain level of standard. And so we are saying it's not just about the hygiene, it's about the menstrual health. So Yaz this year is having that conversation with the public, with schools, and then come to think of it, social media engagement.
Yeah.
We are encouraging people to share their experience from day one when they had their first menstrual cycle happen to them. What was the experience like? What were the challenges you faced? And then share with us. Let the young people realize the essence of how far we've come with menstrual hygiene and exactly menstrual health. And so that's the conversation we're having with Yaz this year.
You raised a very salient point. When we start talking about menstrual hygiene, then, and I've never actually thought about it this way ever. And that is why you need a Nana in the story. Because who was going to actually think about this? Just the fact that you calling menstrual hygiene in the first place is making it look like it's a dirty situation.
Exactly.
However, there are other important things about why did you think that this conversation was necessary, even though we've established that there are some discrepancies when it comes to the communication that goes on about this. We experience this, we know what it feels like, we know all the different faces that it gives us when we're going through it. But why did you think it was important for us to...
It was important because of the tagline when you come to the brand Yaz. Yaz says they care. It's a caring brand for caring families. And so if you're a caring family, you should be concerned about the health of your family. And women make the home. The period says that without you having that, you may not be able to bring offsprings. So for many women who do not have that period, come for them because of medical reasons and all that, we want to see them also in the process of that conversation. We're not just having the conversation that use a sanitary towel and that's it, it ends there. No, we want to care about every other person on the line. So you may be going through the PCOS, you may be having other syndromes or other conditions that may not bring you the health benefit of, let's say, the The period. And so Yaz is saying that we care about you. We know that you're going through that challenge, but Yaz has got you covered because we support other things. For example, the Yaz pad supports cervical cancer, which has to do with everything women. And so this conversation is essential for us to have for every woman to be covered along the journey. Yeah.
So what are some of the activities we are going to be using in this campaign? Okay,
so we are doing the street campaign, which we started. We started, that's yesterday, 28th of May, which marks the World Menstrual Hygiene Day, which we want to term as Menstrual Health Day. Reason is that it embodies every other thing. And then we are doing some schools. We are activating on some campuses. Some students will engage with us as much as we engage with them with appropriate resource persons, meaning we're going there with nurses and doctors to be able to educate. If you're having conditions, during that period, what do you do? Before the period, what do you do? After the period, what do you do? And if you are a support partner to that person, what do you also do? We are also encouraging young men to be able to support women during that period, emotionally, physically. If your mother or your sister sent you to get them a sanitary towel, it was not a taboo. There's nothing wrong with it. During that period, you're not supposed to say the woman can't cook for you. What makes her unhygienic? That she can't cook for you. And so we want to erase these taboos. We want to erase these myths and then replace them with facts. How does the fact really sit? During that period, a woman needs some passion. She needs extra attention. She needs support in the kitchen. Some people will go, every woman. And so the language is that Yas cares about you. That's why we have the 5 variant. So Yas is concerned about the woman who is perhaps plus size, has a big bum, and then still would want to feel comfortable within her menstrual cycle. There's a product for somebody who has a heavy flow, because for women, we understand the language when we say heavy flow and then the light flow. And so Yas is saying that for every woman at all, we are here for you. Let's have that conversation. Let's see how well, maybe in the near future, we could introduce other things that could support other women in different spheres. And so Yas says that keep it clean, keep it safe, make sure that you are healthy, and then let people who are around you understand your process that you're going through. And that means that we have to dialogue for men specifically, because on the street, I think we have done a number of conversations on the streets, and you hear what men say, some men, and it's wowing. For some too, it's super rewarding because they find themselves having to serve their girlfriends or family with these sanitary towels, not enabling them to go to other people for help. Because that little 20 cedis you couldn't buy for a child could lure her to go to somebody, get it, and then it leads to another thing. And so we see the men who are doing it, we see that they are doing a yeoman's job, and they should continue, and the other men should replicate what they are doing.
I like the other men bit. I think my next question was going to be what success will look to you like, but I want to add this to what you said regarding the Yas product. I recently discovered the panty liners, and it's a game changer. I was going to say change maker. It's a game changer, and I say this genuinely, that everybody probably knows now on this platform that I'm a panty liner person. Like you know, when I'm packing my stuff to travel, panty liner, you free grab my shirt panty liner if I don't have it. And then recently I ran out of mine, and so I was just going out of the office, and then I passed one of the shops around, and I said I need a panty liner. They brought me that. I was like, nah, man. There's this particular one I'm looking for. They were like, oh, we don't have that. But then I needed it. I needed panty liner, so I grabbed the Yas. It has mint in it. So I was like, people, you didn't tell me about this. No, quite honestly. And so that's a game changer for me. And so they care all the way to that point when you are, even after the period, they're still taking care of you, which is actually very commendable. Now let's talk about what success will look like in this campaign for you.
What success will look like is that after this campaign, we find people easily talking about menses without having to be shy about anything. For men, if you brought the conversation to the table, they don't even want to listen to it. I have people in my office that I've asked random questions about your woman's cycle or your child's cycle, and then they just don't want to have that conversation. So success to us with this campaign will mean that after these conversations that we are having, kids can go to their teachers and speak to them when they have crisis during that period. Meaning that parents will understand the need to bring their child close during that period, because the child may be experiencing something the mother may not have experienced. So we had instances where kids are talking about, the mothers are talking about the fact that, oh, during my time, I didn't have any menstrual cramps, I didn't have any pain and all the like, all this that you guys, but one thing, the main reason why we're talking about hygiene is that what you consume before your menses has an impact on your menses. And so we want you to stay healthy, and the health is what is the conversation. So at the end of the